Hello. It's the same ref crew.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. Once again, it's USL Pro Soccer as the Richmond Kickers are getting ready to entertain the Dayton Dutch Lions FC. I'm Mike Neville along with Mark Bushman. And, Mark, this is a classic trap game for Richmond because Dayton comes in with a mark of 6 wins, 15 losses, and 3 ties. They have not won at all at home this season. Meanwhile, the Kickers, of course, enjoying quite a run, a 20-game unbeaten streak in USL Pro play. So this would be a classic trap competition for them.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you got the team that hasn't lost in 20 games. They're on their way to the playoffs. They're fighting for that number 1 overall spot. You got a Dayton team that has already been eliminated for competition. So on paper, this match should be one-sided.
Right.
But as you said, trap game. Dayton came in as the number 8 seed last year. Richmond was 1, and they were a breakaway away from winning that game. It took Richmond everything they could to get that 1-0 playoff game at home, so they know Dayton can play tough. Dayton's got a couple players from that team last year. I think it's going to be a very interesting game, Mike.
You mentioned Dayton's out of the playoff hunt, so the players are playing out basically for their jobs. They want to be maybe with Dayton next year, maybe show off their talents for somebody else next season. So there is something that Dayton is playing for.
Yeah, and you're also talking about professional athletes. And, you know, you've been around enough of them. I've been around enough of them. You know, if they're going to give up, then they're not going to be athletes for very long. So they're going to play hard. The thing that scares me about if you're a Dayton fan, the problem is that the guys that are on their roster now have scored a total of 10 goals. So Matthew Delicott from Richmond has outscored all of Dayton's team. So Dayton's going to have to get some guys to kind of push the ball forward a little bit and create some chances on goal.
Last time Dayton was out, they did post a 2-1 win like a week ago at Wilmington, knocking off Wilmington as the newly signed Karamba Janae got the game winner in stoppage time. So they beat up, I think, a pretty decent Wilmington team, and also Brock Granger, who's a solid defender. He made the USL Pro Team of the Week for Dayton. Now, one of the reasons Dayton has struggled is their top scorer, Aaron Schoenfeld, has been called up to Columbus. He had 12 goals at the time that he was called up. He will not be back with Dayton. He's going to stay with the MLS team.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues that you have with the whole loan agreement. DC United's loaned several players to Richmond for the season. They've called all of them back. Joe Willis is not the goalie. You know, it's Ryan Taylor now. Connor Shanoski is not here tonight. He's normally William Yombi's central partner. So that's one of the things that the USL teams have to get adjusted to coming down the playoff stretch, especially with Richmond. They got to get used to playing with the guys that they have.
Exactly right. Starting lineup for the Dayton Dutch is in goal tonight. It'll be Matt Williams. He'll be wearing number 30. Defender Matt Waite is also starting for Dayton. Benjamin Sweat also starting. Also number 24, Taylor Bolin. Also, Joseph Brokenhausen is starting as well. Number 21, of course, Shintaro Harada is starting. Number 17, Cameron Vickers is starting. Brock Granger, we mentioned. Number 16 also starting. And, of course, Karamba Janae starting. And the other two starters, Matt Walker, number 4, and also Sebastian Turier for the Dayton team. And, Mark, the starting lineup for Richmond, pretty familiar names that you're going to recognize.
Absolutely, what you've been seeing for most of the season. You have Ryan Taylor in goal, who's come in for Joe Willis, and Ryan's played very well these first couple of games. And defense got William Yombi, Sasha Gores, Alex Lee, and Shane Johnson. Midfield, George Davis IV, Shea Spitz, Hugh Roberts, Samuel Asante. Up front, we've got Matt Delicott and Jason Yeisley, who we were a little worried about last week. He had a concussion that kept him out for a while. He got a little banged up last week. I talked to Lee Kalishaw before the game, and he made sure that we knew that Yeisley is ready and good to go for this evening.
Which is great news if you're a Kickers fan, because Jason has played well since coming back from that earlier concussion he had earlier in the season, and, of course, back with the Kickers now. And Shane Johnson starting, of course, no Connor Shanoski because of the loan agreement with DC United. Be interested to see how that works, because we were talking, Mark, before we started our pregame about the chemistry between Yombi and Connor Shanoski, and whoever else is in the back with those guys has been very solid. Now he's out. Shane Johnson, of course, he's been getting minutes, but not as many as Shanoski. Going to be interesting can see how that works in the back.
Absolutely, but the thing with Johnson is he's about the same size as Shinosky,
Right.
so he brings a lot of the same techniques, and they train together every day.
Right.
So, yeah, obviously playing the game's a little bit different, but when you're training every day with the same group of people, there is a little bit of chemistry there. It should already exist.
And we mentioned Brock Granger, of course, being named to the USL Pro Team of the Week. Well, congratulations to the Richmond Kickers' Sasha Gores. He was named to the USL Pro Team of the Week for the second time this season. So we're going to take a break. Come back. We've got more action for you from City Stadium in Richmond. You're watching Richmond Kickers Soccer on the YouTube channel. And welcome back. City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia, getting ready for USL Pro Soccer. The Kickers entertaining the Dayton Dutch Lions. And, of course, another reason we said this is a possible trap game next week right here at City Stadium. A big matchup for the Kickers as they will host Orlando City coming into tonight. Orlando City will be in action. We'll try to keep you updated on their game, which is going to start in about a half hour or so against Harrisburg, a team that beat them a week ago at Harrisburg. They're playing at home tonight. And Orlando City coming into tonight has a 1-point advantage over the Richmond Kickers. So you hope that the Kickers are not looking forward or looking past this game to next week's matchup.
And I don't think Lee Kalishaw will allow that to happen. He's very focused. And as we talked to Ryan Taylor at the end of last week's game, we asked Ryan, said, how do you make sure you don't look past Dayton and for Orlando? He goes, well, we don't want to look past training on Monday.
Right.
So the team is very, very focused, taking it one day at a time, one practice at a time, one game at a time. And that's the way that you're supposed to look at it. And that's how Coach Kalishaw has his team prepared.
There's the officiating crew for this evening. The center referee tonight will be Charles Carson. Clive Edwards is the referee assistant along with Hagen Barnett. And the fourth official this evening is Patrick Rosas. That's your officiating crew as we get you ready for this contest here tonight at City Stadium. The Kickers will be in the red uniforms, the red jerseys, the red shorts, and the red socks. And, of course, Dayton will be in the blue jerseys and the blue shorts and the blue socks. As we are just about ready to go here at City Stadium. A week ago, of course, here at City Stadium, it was Richmond posting a 2-1 win over Charlotte as they got goals from George Davis IV, his 9th of the season, and also Luke Vercoloni scored last week in that 2-1 victory for the Richmond Kickers. Another starter, as Mark mentioned before in the pregame, number 8, you see him right there, Hugh Roberts. Of course, Hugh came off the bench last week, but he has been giving them some very valuable minutes when he's played, either as a starter or coming off the bench. Much like Samuel Asante in the midfield has been a solid performer, I think Hugh Roberts is really rounding into form as well.
Absolutely. It takes a little bit of time for these guys to get acclimated from the college game or the PDL or whatever to the USL Pro and the professional game. Hugh Roberts has come along nicely. Now, one of the things we have not talked about, he's not in the lineup and he's not even on the bench, is Luke Vercoloni, who has been the anchor for that team most of this season. So I haven't gotten the word if Luke was hurt or if this is a coach's decision. But Luke is, like I said, he's out tonight, so Hugh Roberts is going to have to step up and. That's why you pay these guys. Next man up, right?
Right, exactly right. And that has been the mantra for the Richmond Kickers in this season. And also Matthew Hall is a recent signee. He is on the bench, although he's listed as number 20. I see a number 21. I'm not sure. But we might see a new player for Richmond playing later on this evening in this matchup with Dayton, as Dayton is in possession now after the opening kickoff. And again, Dayton in the blue uniforms near midfield with the possession. And as we said, they have struggled to score goals. I would think if Richmond can get a goal or two here in the first half, it might just end of the dreams of a victory for Dayton. Although, again, Dayton is one of those teams, we've talked about the teams like Charlotte and Rochester. They're blue-collar teams that they just never give up, and I'm sure that's what we'll see from Dayton this evening.
Well, the team, the organization that owns Dayton, they have Dutch background. That's why I call it Dutch Lions.
Right.
And that's historically a very attractive style of football. A lot of possession, a lot of movement. No necessarily, just because you're a defender doesn't mean you stay as a defender. You move all over the place. So Dayton is not necessarily a pack-it-in type of team. So they play some attractive soccer. It just hasn't worked out too well for them this year. And
they have a new coach, right? We forgot to mention that. Of course, Matt Weston has stepped in, and of course, we mentioned last time out, picked up that 2-1 victory over Wilmington at Wilmington. So a nice road win for Dayton. Yep. So here is the Dutch Lions in possession. Hugh Roberts battling for that possession for Richmond. Now the ball squirts free, and it's controlled by Dayton. Ball played here on the near side to number 24. That's Bolin. Taylor Bolin now goes off to Matt Walker. Walker back to Bolin as they play a little two-man game. And the ball into the middle, knocked away by Yambi. And now still in possession, and Gorez will somehow hook a ball, and it stays in play. He just amazes me with his pinpoint passing. Here's Asante trying to get the counterattack going for Richmond near midfield. Ball played on the far side. No pressure, so still in possession. Now the ball is dropped off. And controlled by Richmond on the far side, looking for a cross. And getting it into the box, and it sailed over the head. And it'll be a goal kick.
Look, that was Alex Lee looking for Jason Yeisley.
And, of course, you got two big targets with Yeisley and Delicott, and that one just missed hooking up with Yeisley.
Yeah, when teams give up free kicks or crosses in the box against Richmond, you've got Dellin, you got Yeisley, and then, like I said, on free kicks, you've got Shane Johnson coming up, William Yombi. Yep. Hugh Roberts is another tall guy. So if you're Dayton, you don't want to give up a whole lot of fouls in your own third, and especially don't want to give up a lot of corner kicks.
Turry already had a possession for momentarily. Now it's controlled by number 16, Granger, for Dayton.
And just got word that Luke Vercoloni is out tonight because of yellow card accumulation.
Oh, wow.
I guess he got one last week.
And one thing we've talked about Richmond for the most part this season, they've been one of the least teams as far as gaining fouls, so it is kind of a surprise that would be the reason. But of course, it does happen every so often.
Well, when you're a defensive midfielder, the way Luke is, you're gonna get those. And I can tell you right now, Lee Kalishaw would rather have him sit tonight than next Saturday against Orlando.
Here comes Dayton pushing the ball forward. Yambi knocked that away for Richmond to midfield, and the ball is controlled now by Dayton. And the ball is played over here to number 21. That's Harada. And now possession for Dayton again as they try to mount an offensive attack. Here's Harada being pestered by Delicott, although Delicott's kind of big to be considered pestering, but he was shadowing him. How about that? Here's number 31, Waite, in possession, and he's going to play it all the way back to Williams in goal. No score, just underway here at City Stadium, USL Pro Soccer. The Richmond Kickers coming in tonight, 1 point out of first place. And again, Orlando City is in action. They'll be playing Harrisburg. We'll try to get you updates throughout the night. Harrisburg blew out to a 3-0 lead last week against Orlando City at home, and then hung on basically for a 3-2 win as Orlando City put a tremendous second-half effort together to pull within one goal and almost scored a goal late in the game from what I understand.
Yes, they did. Hanging on for a win and still win.
That's right. You don't get style points in this league, or any league for that matter. So here's Dayton again with possession. And it's controlled now by number 17, Vickers. Goes off on the far side, trying to maneuver around Lee. Gets to the cross, and it sails over the end line. It'll be a goal kick. Good defense that time by Alex Lee. Didn't allow the ball to go off him. And in the process, it'll be Ryan Taylor taking this goal kick. Good kid, Ryan Taylor. Came up and talked to us last week, of course, after that victory. And really, it seems like he's playing with a lot of confidence. Of course, Mark, you are very familiar with Ryan, having watched him. And he had to come up with a couple of big saves. That one that I still go back to late in the game when he came off his line on that one that was kind of a cross into the box. But he made a good decision, and it was the right decision. And I think that he's just brimming with confidence. Of course, it doesn't hurt, like I say, when you have guys like Yambi and Alex Lee. And, at that time it was Shinowski. Now it's Shane Johnson. Having that kind of veteran leadership in front of you certainly helps.
Absolutely.
So here's Dayton in possession. Ball nudged ahead, and that went off of number 23. And now trying to track that down was number 4. That's Walker. And now the turnover with a whistle and a foul. Bruckhausen, he scored in that 2-1 victory last week over Wilmington. Number 23, Joe Bruckhausen. So here's Dayton at midfield. And again, Yambi touches it ahead for Roberts. He'll play it back. Almost a giveaway, and it is a giveaway. Here's Bruckhausen, and he couldn't quite control it. Now Shane Johnson will calmly tap it over to Sasha Gorez. Gorez taking a peek, trying to send and Deli flicks it ahead. There's a race for the ball, and Williams had to head it away. He was right there at the edge of the box. Good decision by the goalkeeper, Matt Williams.
Looking at another huge collision for Jason. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
I was holding my breath on that one.
But it's nice, they've been doing that all year. Gorez or Alex Lee throws the ball out early, looking for Deli's head, who flicks it on, whether it's George Davis the fourth or Jason Yeisley. Yep. That play has worked all year for Richmond. Very nearly worked there.
And then Shane Johnson clears it away. Deli couldn't get a head on it. Now be tracked down now by number 31, Waite. And Waite being watched carefully by Delicott. Matthew Delicott tied for the league lead in goal scoring with 14 with Molina from Orlando City. And here's number 21, Harada, in possession.
Harada's one of the players that's been around for a long time, and he's a very, very, very tough player to play against. Talked with many players in this league over the years that they do not look forward to playing against Harada.
Savvy veteran is one way to put it, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
And here is number 10. That is Janae, who, of course, got the game winner in stoppage time last week against Wilmington. He lost possession as Dayton now picks up the loose ball. On the far side, trying to maneuver inside the box. It's put into the middle, headed away by Johnson. Right to Dayton, a shot. That's blocked and then cleared away. Dangerous opportunity there, but a good block. Taylor did not have to come up with the save, but it will be a throw-in now for Waite. And Dayton. Actually, Shane Johnson was a little lucky, Mark, on that diving header because it went right to, I believe, number 23, Bruckhausen.
Extremely lucky.
Yeah. And now it'll be a goal kick for the Kickers.
Again, that's one of the things we talk about, Mike. You don't want to give Dayton any opportunities early in the game. Let them get any confidence because all of a sudden you're in for a dogfight. So Richmond needs to just calm down a little bit, try and get some possession because Dayton's had the better possession so far. Knock the ball around, complete some passes, let everybody get a touch or two on the ball, and then just kind of get into a rhythm and go from there. That's
kind of what we saw last week with the Charlotte game where it was kind of a slow start. And here's Shea Spitz. Spitz trying to get it inside the box. He does. Spitz with a shot. And Williams, the rebound. Somehow Williams got the rebound. It's a loose ball. Williams is down in the goal area. And now the center referee will blow his whistle. I'll tell you what, those are two great saves.
The Dayton players thought it was offside. He made a great initial save, and then I don't know if he got hit in the face with the ball or did Yeisley or Deli kick him because he dropped like a stone and really just couldn't get up.
He is up on his knees now. I think Deli might have clipped him accidentally. How did that ball not go in? I think he raised his arm and he deflected that shot from Deli, which was, and you can see Deli's shaking his head, wondering what happened. And Williams is up. That's good to see. And it looks like he's shaking out the cobwebs. And number 21, Harada's upset. Yeah, Dayton thought it was an offsides. The referee's assistant never raised the flag, so Shea Spitz kept playing, obviously. Got a good shot on goal that Williams saved initially. And then the follow-up shot from Deli. And, again, I think Deli might have clipped him accidentally, of course.
Good defensive play against Spitz, though, because it looked like he was coming right down the middle.
Yep.
Didn't get the number of the Dayton player that made the tackle, but that forced Spitz wide and cut down the angle tremendously. So Spitz didn't have much of an angle at all to go with, and Williams made a good initial save and then a good second save.
So we're going to have a drop ball here. And Davis, the fourth, is just going to play it back to Williams in goal. Looks like he's okay, which is good news for Dayton fans. And now the ball played ahead to Harada, now back to Williams. Deli chasing. Now played on the far side. Now off to Waite. He's got some pressure. Good pressure that time from Richmond, but it's going to be a throw-in for the Dutch Lions. No score here. Early in the first half at City Stadium on a beautiful night. That ball played ahead that time by Tourrier. And now it's played back to Ryan Taylor in goal for Richmond. Off to Yambi. Here's Shane Johnson. Again, Shane getting the start tonight with Connor Shinosky being called up to DC United. Yambi had a little trouble settling it, but had no pressure, so he had plenty of time to calm it down. That pass for Asante, kind of a lackluster pass.
Well, that's twice that Shane Johnson's done that.
There's a battle for a 50-50 ball, and it's Delica. Nice job of Deli punching that ball over, trying to get a return pass to Deli. He's cut off, though. Good defense that time.
Good thought, though, again from Alex Lee. Yeah, I think Shane's had a couple of rough touches so far. He'll get better as the game goes on. But usually when we see Shane, it's usually as an outside back. We don't necessarily see him as a center back. So, you talked about that chemistry thing, Mike. It's, just getting used to it, and Shane will be fine.
Here's Granger playing it over to Harada for Dayton. Right at midfield, that's Walker, and he'll play it back to Harada. Ball chipped ahead, looking for an offside. There's the flag. As Janae went down. That was a close one, I thought. And now Shane.
Yeah, just let him back up a little bit, please.
Yeah.
But that's a matchup that Dayton's going to be wanting to try and take advantage of with Janae matched up one-on-one against Johnson because he does have a little bit better speed than Johnson is. So that's going to be another one of those matchups that we're going to be looking for tonight.
So here's Vickers defending for Dayton. As the ball is played back to Asante. Boy, what a play he made last week in setting up that second goal.
Oh, how that didn't get goal of the week is beyond me.
Here's another long ball for Deli. Got a head on it. There's a shot. That went off now headed in the, Delica with a header that just missed finding the far corner.
If that's anybody but Shea Spitz, they get that. Or maybe Asante. But if that's Yeisley or anybody else, that goes in the back of the net.
Exactly.
Yeah. But corner kick for Richmond. So as we mentioned earlier in the game, here comes Johnson, Yambi, Roberts, Deli, Yeisley. A lot of big bodies coming in there. It's going to be tough for Dayton to defend this. But again, that was a good sequence. Sorry, Mike. That was a good sequence from Richmond. Deli, Deli's one of those guys that he scores a lot of goals, but he's great at redirecting the ball back into the box, back into the danger zone. And anything can happen when you do that.
So here's Spitz taking this corner kick for the Kickers. Looking to strike first in this matchup. Trying to go to the short near post. And now it'll be a throw-in for Richmond.
I don't think that's what Gores had in mind.
Oh, you're correct. That was Sasha, not Shea Spitz. My apologies.
That's okay.
So a throw in for Yeisley. Going to move some signs.
Here comes the big throw.
Yep. And Yeisley's throw went over the head of Yambi, and now here's Dayton trying to counter. Almost turning it over. Now the ball played here on the near side. That's a Bolden. Here's Taylor Bolden. Vickers touching it over now. Walker lost possession. Roberts, good ball by Roberts for Delicott, but Harada read that one for Dayton. Here's Vickers at midfield now, and his pass was too strong, and a turnover. Here's Asante.
Asante took on two guys there, and he wound up winning the ball.
Yep. Here's Alex Lee now. Playing it over to Johnson. There's Sasha Gores. Taking a look. Oh, that's a great angle right there. Looking. That ball takes a hop, and Williams handles it. That was a great angle from that camera shot we had. Great job by our director, Mike. Ball now Granger playing it forward. And here is Janae. Hasn't had many touches here in the early going. There's a shot, and that's partially blocked. And that made it roll easily to Ryan Taylor. Nice job that time by Bruckhausen. Wound up and took that shot, and I think it was Yambi that deflected it.
Yeah, Bruckhausen was not happy. He thought he got fouled early, and he was looking to draw the foul there.
It's a collision and a foul, much to the chagrin of the Dayton player. Roberts is slow to get up. That'll be a free kick for the Richmond Kickers, Alex Lee. We'll let William Yambi handle it. Of course, I think we told you last week about the injury to Henry Kalungi. He's done for the year, and that's a big blow to that defensive.
It really is, Mike. Like I said, when you have the DC United players that are all up there and they're not really loaning anybody out right now, Richmond, going from one of the deeper teams in the league. And they still have some good quality on that bench, but it's just not the number of guys that they normally would have. No Kalungi, no Mike Callahan, who we think is probably done for the year with a concussion. Luke Vercoloni's out suspended tonight.
Here's Spitz. Oh, great decision not to dribble that any farther, and he flicked it over on the far side to Delhi as Richmond maintains possession. Here's Alex Lee. Lee's still going. Here's Yeisley. Plays it now to Spitz. He's got an overlap by Gores.
That's a great ball.
Into the middle, and it's knocked away. A couple of nice plays by Shea Spitz on this little run for Richmond.
Yeah, that was really nice. Everybody in the stadium thought he was going to lay it out to Gores, including the Dayton defense. He didn't do that. Really heads-up play from Shea Spitz.
George Davis IV now playing it off.
And this is dangerous from Alex Lee.
Alex Lee into the box. Oh! Shea Spitz headed it over the crossbar.
Yeah, you know, when you get Lee isolated out there, as we've said pretty much every game there, Mike, Lee is good at anybody else and is the right back crossing that ball in. Lee did that right there. You knew he was going for that.
Boy, Mark, you think about it. Here's a turnover, and here's Gores. Beautiful ball to Spitz. Shea Spitz with a shot just wide of the far post.
And Delhi was looking for that return pass. He was wide. He's talking to Shea now.
I'll tell you, Shea very active here in this first half, Mark.
Absolutely. He's on fire so far. Good sequence from Richmond these last 7 or 8 minutes.
You're talking about Alex Lee on that far side, which is the right side, for his crosses, but then they're very dangerous here on the near side with Sasha Gores, who's been with his pinpoint crosses. No score here in Richmond, City Stadium, USL Pro Soccer. Mike Neville and Mark Bushman along with you. And here is Williams with the goal kick after Shea Spitz missed with his shot attempt. And a throw in for Dayton. Well, Dayton certainly is not playing like a team that has just 6 wins on the season. They have had a couple of opportunities. There's a near turnover, and it is. And Harada plays it back to Williams as Delhi made a push to try to steal that ball.
Nervous moment there for Matt Weston on the bench. That's not what he wants to see as the head coach.
Right. Here's the ball played ahead for Janae, but William Yambi very calmly takes it off his foot and gently plays it back to Ryan Taylor. Makes it look so easy. Doesn't panic in a lot of situations. Here's the ball off to Sasha. Gores now playing it down the line. Beautiful ball if he can stay in. George Davis IV. Davis IV with a cross into the middle. And it's still loose, and now it's cleared away by Dayton. Here's Bruckhausen. He's battling Roberts. And then Shea Spitz knocked it out. Well, they're going to say it's a Richmond throw-in. Here's George Davis IV, back to Spitz, back to George Davis IV. Nice job. There wasn't much real estate there to work with, but they did a nice job of keeping it in play, and although it goes over the end line for a goal kick.
Yeah, Spitz and Davis are so good at that 1 and 2 touch, quick ball movement there. That creates – there have been times where it looks like they're pinned in, and they're somehow able to spring it, and all of a sudden Delhi or Yeisley or somebody's in on goal.
So here's Williams in goal. That ball is nudged ahead. We got a whistle.
And Bruckhausen and Roberts are having some wars down there. And Roberts climbed the ladder, but unfortunately he climbed over Bruckhausen's shoulders to get that.
That's a pretty good matchup between those two.
Yeah, it really is.
Here's a look at number 16, Brock Granger.
Granger got a big part of that Dayton run to the playoffs last year. It looked like they were out of it, and they went on a nice little run at the end of the season to get in. And as I said, they gave Richmond all they could handle last year.
So here's Ben Sweat that's going to take this free kick for Dayton. And the referee looks like he's going to back up Shea Spitz a couple of yards. There's a good look at Ben Sweat for the Dayton Dutch Lions FC. And the kick into the box, headed away. Cleared ahead, and Sweat tried to maintain possession. Here's Gores. Sasha off to Delhi. Good ball here on the near side to Spitz. Shea Spitz. He's got George Davis IV with a run.
That's where they're really dangerous.
And Spitz decides to take that one, and he'd like to have that one back.
He meant to cross that to Yeisley going in at the far, and he just rocked back a little bit and put it over the bar. Yeah, he definitely wants to have that one back. But again, good work. Richmond going from defense to offense so quickly on that.
Sometimes, Mark, that's a situation where you got so many different options, you don't really know what to do.
That's exactly right.
It certainly didn't work out the way you wanted.
You have 3 options, and you took option D.
Exactly. Here's Bruckhausen in the side of the box, gets a shot away, and that's going to roll over the sideline for a throw-in. Sasha Gorez will throw it in for the Kickers. No score, still looking for somebody to dent the scoreboard. Here's Roberts, a little chip over to George Davis IV. Here's Spitz. Back to Roberts.
Oh, what a great play from Roberts there.
Roberts still trying to make a run and then cleared out by Harada. It'll be a throw-in for Richmond. Good job by Hugh Roberts.
Again, another one of those areas where it looked like they had him pinned in.
Yep.
And Hugh Roberts shows a little bit of foot skills and some speed there.
George Davis IV playing it back to Gorez. He's quickly met by a couple of Dayton players. Now plays it back. Shane Johnson off to William Yambi. Yambi takes a look, and now he's going long ball to Yeisley.
And he's offside.
Yep. So it'll be a free kick for Dayton. Lee Collishaw is off the Richmond bench. Brock Granger sets the ball down for Dayton. Look at the goalkeeper, Williams. Matt Williams, good to see him recover from that earlier play in front of the goal area. And ball battled for. And a foul whistled against Dayton as Samuel Asante took a seat on the pitch. Here's Johnson now off to Yambi. On the restart for Richmond. Here's Alex Lee. He's being watched by Cameron Vickers. A little give and go with Yeisley. Here's Lee still with it. Trying to maneuver. Gets a cross away, but it's cleared away easily by Matt Walker. And the goal kick for Dayton. Ball played back to Williams again. Delly's doing a lot of running, trying to get some high pressure going. That's what we saw last week, Mark, with Charlotte. In the second half, they decided to crank up the pressure a little bit on the defenders and goalkeeper, and it resulted in them closing to within the goal, but they couldn't finish it off as Richmond did a nice job at the end of that contest last week to maintain possession and waste away some vital seconds as they were able to.
Sign of a good team, you can do that.
Hold on to a 2-1 victory. And as we mentioned last week, Mark, that's something that they've struggled with, but I think they're getting more and more comfortable with that scenario.
And the players have said that over the last few weeks. They've learned how to kill the games off, make the smart play, go into the corner instead of trying to force it down the middle again. Little things like that, taking time on throw-ins, on corners. Just do anything to wait, get another 10 or 15 seconds off that clock.
It's not as easy as it seems, folks, believe me. So here's Waite for Dayton. And Walker plays it back. Harada now. Here's Walker at midfield. Nudges it past George Davis IV as he hooks up with Bolin.
It's dangerous for Dayton here.
Good drop off. Looking for a shot. And the ball comes free to Turrier. Ball across top of the box. Still looking to penetrate that Richmond defense, but a good job of the Kickers. They really marked well on that sequence. There's Turrier into the air, and Taylor says, I'll let it roll. Nope, he's going to keep it in play. I thought he might let that roll over the end line.
What happened there is Dayton had several touches inside the box, but nobody was ever able to get a ball where they were facing goal. Every time they got a ball, their back was to goal. They couldn't take a shot. But they had 4 or 5 touches there in the penalty area.
Right.
You'd think they would have gotten something off, but they just couldn't.
As I mentioned, Richmond did a good job of marking, but that's a good point, Mark, because every pass was a side-to-side, and like I say, they weren't facing Ryan Taylor in the Richmond goal. Here's Johnson off to Garez. That's a good ball as Spitz is going to run onto that. Chase Spitz with a one-touch, and he just missed hooking up with Delly, and then the follow-up, and it goes over the end line. And fans, don't forget USLProSoccer.com. That's where you want to turn for all the scores, stats, news, and more. Again, it's exclusively on USLProSoccer.com. Check it out today. There's Matt Williams with the goal kick. And that one headed by Walker at midfield for Dayton. Here's Hugh Roberts taking it right off of Walker's foot. There's George Davis IV. Rolling it over now to Alex Lee. You can tell in this area of the field, Mark, Richmond really misses Vercoloni.
Yeah, Hugh Roberts played really well, though, so far.
Yeah.
Here's Alex Lee again.
And that cross is handled easily by number 31, Waite.
Yeah, again, what this does is, like, Luke Vercoloni is going to be your starter 99 times out of 100. But, again, you get Hugh Roberts getting some valuable playing time and know that if something happens to one of the other players, that Roberts can slide in there and give you valuable minutes and know that there's not really a drop-off in the quality of play. Again, just another show how Lee Calishaw has a very deep Richmond team once again. You know, look at the guys who are on the bench. Matthew Hall, who they just signed, who's played for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. You got Juan Aberlayas, he's in his second year from VCU. Nate Robinson, who's Rookie of the Year, I believe, last year. I always say that. I think he was the Rookie of the Year. Nate will tell me. And then you've got Tishan Hanley, who seems to only score goals when he comes on the field. So, you know, you've got a pretty good bench for Richmond.
It's the ball chipped into the box, and Williams handles that on the fly. Yeah, you mentioned Nate Robinson. He had a terrific year last year. Started a lot of games for Richmond, but he's been a valuable asset off the bench for Lee Calishaw this season.
Well, coming off that really bad injury, the ACL injury that he had last fall, you know, he's just now in the last few weeks rounded into form and can go 90 minutes. But, yeah, again, another nice option off the bench.
Yep. Trying to hook up with Janae on that pass that time was number 24, Bolin, and it rolls over the end line for a goal kick. No score here at City Stadium, USL Pro Soccer. Mike Neville and Mark Bushman along with you. There's Yambi playing it to Hugh Roberts, right back to Yambi. Yambi again with all kinds of time, and now decides to knock it long, trying to hook up with Deli, but it's headed away. Deli was trying to sneak in behind, but a nice play. Might have been Harada that got ahead on that. And now Dayton with possession. Here's Granger. Brock Granger playing it back to Waite. Deli watching him. And now Yambi. There's Johnson off to Sasha Gorez. Gorez now tried to put it in the middle of the box. Harada was there. And now here's Turrier. Off to Bolin, back to Turrier. Keeping the ball going. Here's Granger. And now Granger and Waite play a little kickball together. And now Harada. Turrier at midfield. Goes over on the far side. Looking for an opening. Nice ball to Janae. Here's Walker. Spins away from one defender. And then ran loose ball, and Johnson is able to chip it out of harm's way. And now Harada. Kind of a dangerous sequence there a moment as Walker was able to free himself with a little spin move, but there was a wall waiting for him.
There was a lot of legs waiting for him.
Yep. And now here's the ball played. Walker tried to slide one through, and look at Yambi just take that and out. Oh,
whew.
Beautiful move.
You know, it's very professional, but still, you know, if you're a Richmond fan or you're Lee Calishaw, you're still holding your breath just a little bit when it does that.
Here's Alex Lee. You're right.
That is a great ball, and he's onside, too.
Here's Shea Spitz tracking it down. Shea's had a tough time trying to put one on goal. He gets inside the box. I'm not sure. I think he was trying to make a little touch pass to Deli, and
he had George Davis IV wide open, trailing, and I don't think he saw George. He's really trying to slide it into Deli there, but if he pulls that back, George Davis is sitting there right at the penalty spot.
I think he or else crank one on goal. That was, but again, Shea's been very active in this first half. That's good to see. That ball flicked through, but knocked away by Gorez as number 17 Vickers was able to flick that through. Now the ball played off. Here's Bolin into the box. And Alex Lee will track it down for Richmond on the far side. Winding down this first half. Again, we're scoreless here at City Stadium. Here's Jambi to Asante. Walker watching him. And now Gorez has got all kinds of real estate to work with.
I switch up that space there.
There's George Davis the fourth. He got past Walker reached out to try to grab him. No luck.
It's like grabbing at air.
Yeah. Here's Gorez. Up to Spitz. And didn't quite understand what he was trying to do.
Now he thought Yeisley was going to make the run a little earlier. There's just a little miscommunication there. But Spitz is just so active again tonight. You know, Mike, he's in, anytime Richmond has been dangerous, Spitz is somewhere in the middle of it.
And now here's Asante backtracking and now going back to Jambi.
And this is really good from Richmond. If you don't have the shot or anything, just bring it back out, hit the reset button, make Dayton chase you. It's a little warm out here tonight, a little humid. It starts taking its toll if you're having to play defense for 70% of the game.
And, Mark, that's another aspect of the game that we've seen from Richmond the last month and a half is they're not forcing the issue. They are, like you say, hitting that reset button and not trying to force. That was a great ball. Headed in. The save and then the follow-up. The block that time by Waite. The first save by Williams and then the follow-up shot from Deli, I believe it was.
And I think he hit the back corner of the goal because the goalkeeper immediately called out for the trainer.
And
he hit, I don't know if he hit his head or his chest or his hip. He hit that wheel.
Yeah. Are they calling this a goal kick? Huh? I thought Waite blocked that.
No, he made the initial. And then Deli just knocked it over and unfortunately carried him into the goal, into the back of the goal, I mean.
Yeah.
And looks like the sideline official called it offside.
Yeah, I didn't see that initially.
And that'll make you see stars a little bit.
Deli's up, takes a little deep breath.
Yeah, anytime you have an opposing player immediately start waving for the trainer, that's you kind of hold your breath for a second or two. Yeah, he's ready to come back in.
Yep. So here's Harada for Dayton. That was a beautiful cross. I didn't think it was offsides, to be honest with you, but
I didn't either.
Apparently that's what the call is. Here is Brucken, shot just wide that time as Dayton comes back with a threat of their own.
Yeah, they finally got a bounce to go their way.
Yeah.
Came right back to Bruckhausen.
And he didn't miss by much.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
There's Deli. Good to see him up, and he's back in. So Ryan Taylor will take this goal kick. That's about the third or fourth really good opportunity. But, again, it probably wouldn't have counted because we believe that the offsides was whistled.
Yeah. And this is one of those games where you can have a lot of the opportunities, but if you don't put one in and you get caught on a counter, which almost happened with Dayton there. They got a lucky. They got finally got a fortunate bounce back to Bruckhausen. They could have put that in and been up 1-0 in a game where they've quite frankly have been outplayed for most of it.
Ball played back by Tourrier. Now he gets a return pass. Tourrier goes on the near side to Bolin. Here's Walker. Walker takes a peek, trying to hook up with Janae. Yeah. And Taylor's out of the goal. Janae settled it down.
Yeah, Taylor's in no man's land there.
Yep. Here's a layoff and the shot. That's partially blocked. Here's another shot from Vickers. Woo! He didn't miss by much on that one.
That was the best opportunity of the game for Dayton. Now, they've been looking for Janae all game. He's had one or two tough matchups against Johnson and Yambi, and he got in behind him on that one. Caught Taylor out in no man's land, and I'm not sure why they're giving a goal kick on this. Nobody.
Corner kick.
That's what I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michael. Corner kick.
I didn't think anybody touched it.
Well, I think the flight of the ball made it look like it might have deflected off somebody, but it didn't because he was wide open in front of the net. Taylor didn't touch it.
Yeah, we had a great camera angle on it. We didn't.
No, that didn't hit a Richmond player. I mean, even the Dayton players are walking away thinking it was a goal kick.
Right. Well, here's the guy that just missed that opportunity, Vickers. He's going to take this corner kick for Dayton. We had a great angle. Into the box, and it's headed away by Richmond. And now the Kickers will try to get a counter going as Spitz up ahead for Asante. Great job of going to the ball.
And here comes Davis.
George Davis, the fourth now with possession on the near side. He's got a overlap with Gorez. Here's Sasha. Yeah, he couldn't catch up to it.
Took a little too long to make the decision there. He had a couple of different options, but they ran out quickly.
But you want to give Samuel Asante credit for that possession because he, instead of waiting for the ball to come to him, much like a shortstop in baseball, he actually went and got the ball and beat the Dayton player to it to keep that possession alive for the Kickers. Here's Spitz. Takes a push from Waite.
He's going to commit the foul. You knew he was going to commit the foul.
So Dayton now will have the free kick.
Shea a little frustrated down there. He just needs to keep doing what he's been doing.
Yeah.
He's so active. He's going to get more opportunities the way he's playing. You know that.
Got a Richmond player warming up.
That's Matthew Hall.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple guys down there, actually.
So here's Williams.
Nate Robinson's down there as well.
You think we'll see some subs before the half ends, Mark? Or
Don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Here's Roberts trying to track down Janae. He plays it over on the far side to Vickers, who had a great opportunity a moment ago. And now Vickers into the box, headed away by Shane Johnson. Walker will try to track that down. George Davis, the fourth, pressuring him. And a couple players go tumbling to the ground. Sasha and Walker.
And you've also, when you talk about the Richmond players warming up, the entire bench from Dayton is warming up as well. So now you'll see the subs in the second half, obviously, but you get them started now and knock the ball around at halftime. I'm not sure what changes Lee Calishaw might have in mind, but I think they've as a team, they've been playing very well.
Yeah.
Done good as far as knocking the ball around, have not given Dayton very many chances, have created several of their own. I think this has been a pretty good half for Richmond. They've done pretty much everything but score.
Yeah. There's George Davis, the fourth, settling. That was a good. I was wondering if they're going to call obstruction there on Harada because he kind of stepped in the way of the path of George Davis, the fourth.
I believe that's Harada's first foul tonight.
Won't be his last. Here's a great opportunity to mark for Richmond on this free kick. It looks like Sasha's going to take it.
Going to have a little in-swinger here looking for Deli or Yeisley. Roberts. And that's not 10 yards.
Yeah. There's a great angle from our camera here.
Yeah, there's going to be a swerving ball, I think, from Gorez. Yeah.
And it's headed away by. Got a foul against Richmond in the box. So Dayton will have the free kick. No score winding down this opening half here at City Stadium. Richmond back in action a week from tonight, taking on Orlando City.
Game of the year.
Yep. Coming into tonight, Orlando City nursing a 1-point advantage over the Kickers in the USL Pro standings. Loose ball. Walker pops on that for Dayton. Now plays it over to Bolin. Here's Bolin on the near side, looking good ball. And now looking for some help. Here's Walker. Right back. And the cross attempt, and that went off of Richmond, and that'll be a goal kick.
Good stuff from Bruckhausen, though. I think he's been Dayton's most active player
without
tonight. He's had a couple of good opportunities. He seems to be involved in every single 50-50 ball. He's playing very, very well for Dayton tonight.
So Taylor will take the goal kick. Look at Ryan Taylor. He's been called upon after Joe Willis was called up to DC United after the injury to the guy who played in goal last year for Richmond, Andrew Dykstra. We wish Andrew well. We hope everything's going well with his recovery from torn ACL, correct?
That is no, he tore his Achilles.
Oh, that's right.
And then he put a picture of his surgery after the fact on Facebook, so I don't appreciate that, Andrew. Most of us don't.
Well, we wish him well in his recovery, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, just a great guy, great goalkeeper.
It's a ball for Bruckhausen. It's knocked away by Shane Johnson. Ball headed by Yambi.
Yeah, you got to think if you're DC United and you're able to call in Joe Willis, who's your third-string keeper. Joe has lots of playing time in MLS here. If you're DC United, that's pretty deep.
Yes,
at the goalkeeping spot.
So here is Samuel Asante. And by the way, at the time that Joe was called up, he was, I believe, the second best goalie in the USL Pro League at the time. And I believe he had 6 or 7 shutouts, too. There's Jambi tracking it down for Richmond. Ball played back to Taylor. Here's Johnson.
Looks like Dayton might be making a sub before the half there, Mike. You could be right.
Well, it's not often.
I give you credit.
As the ball flicked ahead, and George Davis IV playing it back to Jambi. Jambi rolls it over on the far side to Alex Lee. Lee taking a look. Strong cross into the box. Ooh. That's knocked out of play that time by Bolin. And a corner kick for Richmond. Mike Neville, Mark Bushman along with you. City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. Also want to welcome Frederick Getty from Fredericksburg Academy, an intern who's joined us here in the booth, taking in the action.
Going to take my spot eventually, probably.
He wants too much money. That ball was knocked away. And Sasha's at his cross was knocked away by Vickers, so it'll be a goal kick. And don't forget, folks, Facebook. You want to visit the USL Pro fan page on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro. Check it out. Here's Shea Spitz with the corner kick into the box, flicked away. And then Gorez decides to have at it.
Now, unfortunately, on both of Richmond's corner kicks, for Gorez and Shea Spitz, they've not been able to clear that first defender. You have to be able to do that to have an opportunity. They haven't been able to do that yet.
So Williams with the goal kick. Not a bad idea from Sasha on that one, Mark, just to give a go from about 30 yards or so.
We do have an update from the Orlando-Harrisburg game 15 minutes in. That game is 1-1. And Charlotte is at the half. They are beating Rochester 1-0. So Orlando City hoping to get their revenge from Harrisburg after Harrisburg beat them in Harrisburg last week. And now they're playing Orlando, and that's a 1-1 game. So.
And coming in tonight, Harrisburg, Mark, with 33 points on the season. And they are sitting, let's see, 5th place in the USL Pro standings. So, and of course, right now they're a thorn in Orlando City's back because they are.
That's out. That has to be out.
Yep, that is the call. He was like 2 feet out of bounds.
He was.
But hey, if you're Dayton, you try that, right?
Why not?
But there are some teams that are, you have a hard time matching up with. It looks like Harrisburg might be a tough matchup for Orlando City.
All right, let's see if Spitz can clear that defender this time. Nice. That's it.
Ooh, over Johnson's head.
But that's what you want, obviously.
Yep. Here's Asante off to Jambi. William Jambi.
He didn't want to cross the ball. That's not his Jambi's strength. And it looks like they've called a foul against Richmond again.
Yep. And that is Tourrier down in the box. Center referee Charles Carson waving in the trainer. And the Dayton trainer has a boot on her left leg, so it's going to take her a while to get out there. She might need the Richmond Transit to get her out there.
Right. Player's ready to come back on, and she's just reaching him.
Well,
she needs a little scooter, Mike.
They have golf carts. I don't know why they. She just put her thumb up in the air, and somebody pick her up.
You ever have any idea how many people just complained about what we said?
And we're going to have a drop ball on the far side.
Crowd's getting a little vocal now.
Yep.
The Red Army, the corner kicks down there.
There's a look at a pretty decent-looking crowd tonight.
Always is.
Yep.
I think what happens is people that are watching this on television, because of the way our cameras work, it looks like there's nobody in the stands, but that area of the stadium is not operational.
Right.
So the fans are here, several thousand every game, but you just don't necessarily see them, but you sure can hear them.
Yep. Here's Spitz. Shea Spitz trying to get to the end line. His cross attempt into the box. Here's Deli laying it off, and a shot. Oh, I think that hit the post.
It did hit the post. That's what they were looking for.
That was George Davis IV that banged that one off the post.
That is exactly how you want it drawn up. Spitz gets it into Deli, who lays it off to the runner there, and George Davis just off the post there.
If he could have scored there, that would have put him in double figures with goals. He's got 9 coming into tonight.
We've got 2 minutes of stoppage time.
Well, that would have been a big boost for Richmond.
Once again, Shea Spitz getting something out of nothing. There were 3 guys down there, and he was still able to get a great ball in there.
And George Davis IV lost possession. But Richmond will get a quick restart here. Lee's
ready to put on the jersey and go. Because he knows they've got some momentum. He'd really like to get a goal here and really kind of put Dayton behind the 8 ball at the end of the half.
Here's Gorez. Oh, great ball. Here's Spitz. He keeps it rolling. And Asante had it. His first touch eluded him. And now Waite. But look at it. Asante takes a bump. And Waite's able to little mismatch there as far as height.
Yeah, but good composure from Waite there.
Yep. Brock Granger playing it back for Dayton. And Shane Johnson playing it to Taylor. Ooh.
Again, that's the matchup that they want.
2 new players there. As I see new inexperiences with each other. Talking about Shane Johnson and Ryan Taylor. And sometimes those situations can result in an unlucky situation.
We see that in the Open Cup game against New England. That knocked Richmond out of the thing. Out of the cup.
Yeah, Yambi and Willis with a miscommunication. There's another long ball. Here's Alex Lee, and he'll get a corner kick out of it. They're going to have to hurry.
Good play from Lee.
Shea Spitz. This might be the last play of the half if they can. Wouldn't it be something if they scored here right before the whistle blew? And Shea Spitz. And he goes with the short corner, and ball put into the box, headed up in the air, and Williams is able to grab that. And a whistle. And that'll do it for the half.
A little bit of chaos there at the end.
His punt was blocked, but it doesn't matter. It's the end of the half. So, some great opportunities for Richmond. Couple of opportunities, for Dayton. Neither team could dent the scoreboard. We're at the break, and we're scoreless 0-0. We'll come back, and we'll have more coverage of Richmond Kickers soccer here at City Stadium in Richmond. Again, it's a scoreless half, so stay with us. And welcome back, City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. Scoreless tie here at the half. And don't forget, fans, that you can still sign up for the 2014 series of Richmond Kickers youth soccer camps all summer long. The soccer camp is a great opportunity for boys and girls to develop their overall playing ability and their love of the sport. Campers will receive unparalleled coaching and instruction from the Kickers players, coaches, and staff in an enjoyable, friendly environment. Camps range from individual to team camps, as well as specialized training and finishing, goalkeeping, and more. Learn more about the camps and how to sign up by logging on to the team's website at www.richmondkickers.com. The broadcast of this match is authorized by the Richmond Kickers, and every broadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of the club is strictly prohibited. Tonight's match was produced for the Kickers by Tourbeau Sports Group, the official video production company of the Richmond Kickers. At this time, we would like to also take a brief moment to thank some of our major sponsors for this 2014 season. They include the main jersey sponsor, Health Diagnostic Laboratory Incorporated, as well as YOGG, the club's official marketing partner. To learn more about the sponsors for the Kickers, log on to the club's website at www.richmondkickers.com. We would also like to thank the official apparel provider. That's Adidas, a sponsor of the Richmond Kickers. Be sure to grab your official Kickers merchandise online or right here at City Stadium on game days. And don't miss our next broadcast. It's a week from tonight right here at City Stadium as the Richmond Kickers will entertain Orlando City. Kickoff set for 7 o'clock. You can watch it live right here on the official Richmond Kickers YouTube channel. All right, scoreless tie. We'll come back. We'll have some more action for you as we get you ready for the second half of this evening's matchup as the Richmond Kickers entertaining Dayton here at City Stadium. Stay with us. And welcome back, City Stadium, Richmond, Virginia. And it is a scoreless draw right now as we get you ready for the second half. Mike Neville and Mark Bushman along with you. And we've got an update on the Orlando City game, which, of course, they're playing Harrisburg at home. And Orlando City, Mark, has a 1-goal advantage, right?
Yes, they are up 2-1 as we speak, and they are in the 35th minute. We do have a substitute for Dayton, number 9. That is David Clemens, and I don't know who he's come in for. We will get that information to you shortly.
So our first substitution of the night belongs to Dayton. By the way, coming into this match, so these two teams collided back in April. The Kickers posted a 5-1 win in Dayton. The all-time series, Dayton has never beaten Richmond. 9-0-1 in the all-time series between these two. So let's hope, for Richmond's sake, that trend continues.
And they are,
but I'll tell you,
so as well.
But Dayton has been very, very tough in this first half. A couple of opportunities squandered by the Kickers as far as scoring opportunities. And Mark, we were talking real quick, real clean game. Only a total of 8 fouls, 5 against Richmond, 3 against Dayton. So a very clean game. We'll see if that changes here in the second half.
Oh, that's going to change in the second half, Mike. You know that's how it works.
Deli to Yeisley, and he hooked that one well wide.
Just a bit outside. But good start again. With Deli winning the first ball, Richmond coming down with that second one. That's very important. Deli wins so many of those 50-50 balls. Gives Richmond the chance at the second ball there. That's exactly what happened there. Yeisley just wasn't able to get a good volley on that.
And in Yeisley's defense, he was well defended. Had a guy right in front of him that was all over him. So here's the goal kick for Williams for Dayton. Just underway, second half. Looking for our first goal of the night. Here's Hugh Roberts. Playing it here on the near side to Alex Lee. Lee rolls a pass ahead. Yeisley battling. Gets around his defender. A collision and another collision, and Yeisley's still going. Got it in front. Great effort by Jason Yeisley. Quite a battle between him and number 28, Ben Sweat.
All right, when there's a break in the action, Mike, I'll tell you who the substitution for Dayton was.
Okay.
Thanks to Frederick for pointing this out for us.
Now, dangerous play, and Ryan Taylor. I believe that was Janae that was trying to get to that ball. Go ahead.
And the substitution was number 9, David Clemens. Coming in for number 23, Joe Bruckhausen, who I thought had a very, very good first half. So I'm wondering if maybe there was an injury or something like that to Bruckhausen. I thought he was their most dangerous player, most active player in the first half.
Without a doubt. I'm shocked that that's the substitute.
Shows what we know, Michael. Coaches see a different game than us.
Yeah. Bruckhausen had a couple of good opportunities and was very active in sustaining some offensive pressure for Dayton. There's Dayton in possession. That's Granger playing it ahead. Tourrier off on the far side. There's the ball to Walker. Ball drop back now to Clemens, who just came in and start the second half. And here's Granger. See Dayton doing a nice job of possessing the ball. Here's Harada. Playing it off to Waite. Now Granger, that ball slid through.
It's always a dangerous ball out there, and you get a free look.
Here's an opportunity. Ball into the middle, and Yambi, it's loose in the box, and now Yambi will push it over to Sasha Gorez, who will clear it for Richmond. Good job by Taylor Boland that time to make the cross for Dayton. Here's the ball played ahead for Deli, too strong. And Williams rolls it out to get the counter going. Here's Vickers. Tourrier. Clemens, nice drop off that time to Vickers. Here's Clemens. Clemens off to Tourrier. Plays it wide to Boland. Here's Boland lining up across. And that one's up in the air. Here's Walker's shot blocked by Roberts.
And Richmond's got numbers if they move quickly on this.
Here's Asante. Now Asante trying to sprint to midfield and does with some options. Off to Alex Lee. Back to Samuel Asante. Asante, that return pass was knocked away from him, but kept alive by William Yambi. Spitz wanted the ball at his feet, but instead Yambi goes with the long ball for Deli.
Deli winning the first ball again.
Yep. Here's Gorez catching up with that ball. Gorez to George Davis, the fourth. He takes a look around, see who's around him. Now he goes off to Asante. And Asante It's just outside the box, still going. Asante, a little shoulder move. Samuel Asante trying to get around the defense. Now finds George Davis the fourth. He can't line up a shot. And a whistle just outside the box. There is a foul. Much to the dismay of Brock Granger. Great opportunity here, Mark.
Yeah. Great stuff from Asante. They're knocking it around, taking on players, drawing all kinds of pressure to him, which set up that foul against Davis. And good opportunity for Richmond. Tough area.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to, when you're this close, it's hard to get the ball over the wall yet get it to dip at the same time. So it's kind of hard to run a set play here. You just kind of have a look at goal, and
It's almost like a football team when you're like at the 10-yard line. I said, man, that's great, but it's not because the field kind of compresses.
Yeah, if this is out another 5 yards or so, it would be a little better opportunity. So I honestly, I would look for Garza to take this, but I think Davis is going to wind up doing it because he drew the foul.
There's George Davis the fourth taking a look.
You know, maybe you're just trying to blast this in there. Maybe you can get a deflection or something.
How about if you go wide to maybe Shea Spitz there? Is that a possibility?
Nah, I want to have a look at goal there, Mike. That's
and
why.
We do. And what do I know, huh? George Davis the fourth becomes the second member of the Richmond Kickers this season in double figures with his 10th goal of the season. No doubt about that one. Wow. And what do I know?
Honestly, I swear, as soon as he struck it, I knew it was going in. I really did. If you go back and listen to the replays, well, there you go. No, it was just incredibly well struck by Davis there. You know, it's like the guy, they say that the person who gets fouled should not take the kick.
Right.
Okay, I'll disagree. Let's go ahead and do that. So very, very good play. Like I said, set up by Asante once again.
Yeah.
And Davis with just a wonderful free kick.
And really, Mark, this season, George Davis, here it is again. I mean, look at this laser. No chance for goalkeeper Matt Williams.
No, none at all.
But that's about his third or fourth goal off a free kick this season. He's been very deadly. Here's another shot of it. Boom. I believe I'd say that's a well-struck ball.
I would agree.
Pardon me. So George Davis, the fourth, has been coming on here in the latter stages of the last month or so with a couple of goals. And Richmond now with a 1-0 advantage.
Been looking for that for a while now. What they need to do is keep their composure. Dayton's going to come out, and they're going to try and play a little. They're going to play a little harder, try to maybe force the issue a little bit. Richmond needs to keep their composure, maybe catch them on a counter, get that second goal, and maybe put this game away.
Well, the one thing we saw last week, Mark, in that win over Charlotte was the Kickers kind of got caught up in, the officiating, and you don't want to have that happen. You want to just concentrate, like you say, and keep playing through situations. So a throw in for Richmond. George Davis the fourth off the free kick opportunity just outside the 18-yard box. And no doubt about that one. There is George Davis the fourth. And as I mentioned, the Kickers now with 2 players in double figures with goals this season. Of course, Delhi leading the way with 14.
Delhi's now second with Kevin Molina getting a goal down in Orlando. He now has the lead with 15.
Here's Gorez.
I don't think that really matters to Delhi right now.
No, he wants the 3 points. We will see Molina next week when Orlando City invades City Stadium, which if everything holds up the way it is right now, Orlando City will still own the 1-point advantage, correct?
That is correct. And unfortunately, Michael, you will have to do this game without me.
Yeah. And it will be the final regular season home game. Of course, they will be hosting at least one playoff game. We know that because they're going to be one of the top 2 seeds, I would imagine.
They can hope, which would give them the 13th is going to be the first playoff game, I believe, and then there would be the 20th.
Yep.
So one game at a time, as Ryan Taylor said last week. One game, one training at a time.
Exactly. So here's Waite for Dayton, down 1-0 now after the goal from George Davis the fourth. Here's Vickers getting a return pass, and Roberts broke up that pass. And then Hugh Roberts is fouled by Clemens. I don't think we've seen any yellow cards flash tonight, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is that correct?
I have not seen anything. I'm thinking probably in the next maybe 1 or 2 fouls against Dayton.
Yeah.
Because they have committed a couple of cynical fouls in the last Well, since the half start, that's the second or third.
Yeah. Here's Yambi playing it wide to Sasha Gorez. He settles it. Boy, he's not fast, but he's got some nifty moves. Chips it, and that was overcooked. So a goal kick for Dayton. 1-0 George Davis the fourth, ripping in a free kick opportunity moments ago. And a throw in.
Nice from Yeisley there. One of those things
Yep.
that doesn't show up in the scoreboard or the stats, but he created that turnover. So Richmond gets the ball in a dangerous area again.
Shea Spitz will throw it in.
A little bit of jawing down there.
And Spitz goes to Roberts. And the referee said, hold on, I'm not done discussing the matter. He's talking with Ben Sweat. And now, I'm not sure if that might be Waite getting involved in the conversation as well. He just wants to throw his 2 cents in as well.
Yep.
So now Spitz. And Yeisley had it knocked away, and that's a great effort by number 31, Waite. Fans, don't forget social media, of course. Make sure to follow at USL Pro on Twitter. That's where you can get all the latest updates when it comes to USL Pro. Again, that's USL Pro on Twitter at USL Pro for all the latest news. Here's the corner kick, and that ball's headed wide.
Good execution, good ball from Spitz.
Yep.
Dayton pushing the issue a little bit here.
Yeah, quick counterattack here. Here's Janae along the near side and plays it to the middle. Here's Turrier. Now off to Bolin. Turrier, he's got some space here. Okay. Clemens was making a run, didn't see him, and then the pass knocked away and out of play by Alex Lee.
Yeah, Yeisley was trying to chip that over the defender and just take off running, and didn't get a full view of it.
Yeah, it was Yeisley, not Lee. Ball played now back to Waite. Turrier. Turrier off to Bolin. Here's Walker. Walker's been very active tonight for Dayton, getting a lot of touches. And now here's Waite. Here's Sweat looking for a cross. Got an overlap. Now it goes to the middle. Walker settles just outside the box. Walker trying to line up a shot. Now he drops it off. Good defense, though, by Richmond, Mark. Not really allowing anybody to get a clean shot.
Now a good possession from Dayton, though.
Yeah.
Keeping this thing alive.
Boland's cross was deflected by Yambi, and there's a near giveaway by Roberts. And now the ball is played out to midfield. Controlled by Waite. And Williams way out of goal. Getting a challenge. Good composure that time by Williams.
Yeah. Coach Ben Weston was probably not he was holding his breath a little bit on that, but very good aggressive play from the goalkeeper.
Here's Deli trying to track that down.
A little chaotic these last couple minutes
Yeah.
for Richmond. They need to grab the ball and kind of settle down a little bit. Starting to open up a little bit, and Dayton's looked pretty decent since the goal scored for Richmond.
Here's the ball played over to Sweat, and he can't. His first touch eludes him. Throw in for the Kickers. 1-0. George Davis the fourth, his 10th goal of the season. There's a push that Spitz took. And now Lee. Deli battling. That ball sailed over his head. Here's Turrier. And now here is Sweat. As Dayton again plays the ball back to their goalkeeper, Williams. That goal by Davis, the fourth, by the way, the second straight game that he has scored. He scored last week in the 2-1 victory over Charlotte. Nice to see him starting to, he got off to a great start to the 2014 season to George Davis the fourth. Went into kind of a little bit of a goal drought.
Well, that's because Deli was taking everything.
Well, that's true, yeah. Deli was hogging all the scoring opportunities. Throw in for Dayton.
But that's good when you're going into the playoffs if you have to game plan against multiple players rather than just that one big scorer.
By the way, I want to say a big shout-out to my buddy Matt in Phoenix, once again tuning in on the YouTube channel. Appreciate it.
Oh, what a great play from Davis the fourth. He's got Garez on the overlap.
There's George Davis the fourth, and let's see if he's take it himself. Shot was blocked, and you can see Sasha very demonstrative.
Yeah, you got to lay that off. If your outside back is making that kind of a run in the 60th minute, you got to lay that off because it really does throw the defense. I understand what George Davis was trying to do there, but you need to lay that off to Garez, somebody who's proven Garez can put the ball on a dime. So.
Yep. There's George Davis the fourth now with the corner kick. And that one skims all the way to the far side and Spitz.
Nice hustle there from Spitz.
A little stop and go now. Lays it off to Alex Lee. And Lee's cross attempt was blocked, and that will go over the end line. Corner kick for Richmond. Right in front of the Red Army.
Well, that last corner kick from Davis was very tough. That was a line drive that got through. Almost got into deflection. See if Spitz can throw something like that.
Yeah, Shea has had his problems trying to, they go with our favorite play. Here's it in the box. Oh, and Shane Johnson couldn't quite get the noggin on that one. Here's Asante.
Actually didn't have a problem with that short corner, Michael.
No,
because everybody was in the box, and Lee was going to have a free run at it.
That's one of the few times it's worked. But I agree with you.
And that's why we're up here in the booth and not down on the sidelines or on the field.
That's right. Here's Clemens. You're right. It'll be a throw-in for Dayton.
I think they're calling a foul on Garez.
Oh, did they? Yep. Here's Granger. Taking a look now, going here on the near side to Sweat.
And in another game, the LA Galaxy 2 have scored, and they are 1-0 up over the Oklahoma City Energy, another team that's fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah, Oklahoma City, I think, what did I say, about 3 points ahead or 2 points, something like that, for that 8th spot?
I think so.
Yeah, they're 2 points ahead of Orange County. The Orange County Blues FC are 2 points behind Oklahoma City.
And Richmond's schedule, these last 4 games, is not easy. They got 2 games against Orlando. Then they have to go on the road. They play Orange County and the LA Galaxy, too.
Yep,
so Richmond, they need to get 3 points tonight and try and win at least 2 of those next games.
Yeah, that's not an easy closing schedule.
It really isn't.
And, the LA Galaxy 2 is just 2 points, Mark, out of third place, Sacramento Republic FC with a 2-point advantage. So
we've seen Sacramento. That's a good soccer team. Yeah, coached by Preki, first-year team, getting just incredible fan support.
Yeah, we're talking so much about Orlando City, but like you said, Mark, it made a great point. Those and they're all on the road. That's not an easy trip to go out west to Orange County and then the LA Galaxy, and then, of course, also take on Orlando City later on.
Yep.
As this 2014 season winds down. There's a ball played, and Ryan Taylor will handle that with no problem in the goal area for Richmond. And this league is just when it looked like, Mark, it was all Orlando City. Orlando City's hit a little speed bump here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we thought they might run the table at one point.
Yeah.
And they have 2 losses, I believe, in their last 3 games. So.
And then you got the Kickers with a very quiet 20-game unbeaten streak. Here's Dayton. This is played over on the far side. Boland back to Walker, right back to Boland. He's got Clemens with him. And he rolls it through to Clemens. Here's Clemens. Came out in the second half into the middle of the box. And Yambi flicks it over the end line, corner kick for Dayton.
That was good. You had 2 Dayton players right inside the 6 that looked like they were going to get a nod on that if Yambi doesn't.
About 4 players from Richmond are heading to the end of the down by the goal area to start to loosen up. Nate Robinson, Deshaun Hanley. I think Hall is one of we said as well.
Yep, Warren Abelias.
There's the corner kick. And it's Roberts got a head on it. Settled down. Boy, it's loose in the box. And finally cleared away.
Had a couple moments like that for Richmond on the set pieces.
Ball played.
Getting in that mixer.
And Taylor will handle that.
Again, one of those things, it just bounces the wrong way, and all of a sudden you're picking it up out of your net.
Taylor getting some pressure from Janae. Yeah, Richmond really needs another goal to kind of, not that it's going to salt it away, but it certainly would help. Here's Spitz. Good job of playing it over to Lee. Right back to Shea. And
yeah, those two have a really good understanding of each other.
And a corner kick opportunity for Richmond after Bolin couldn't keep it in play for Dayton. So here's George Davis the fourth with the corner kick.
Here comes Yambi.
Deli moving around the box as you see number 7. And that one is off of Williams' hands and then cleared away by Dayton. Here's Yambi playing it back to Sasha Gorez. Sasha lofting a ball into the far corner. George Davis the fourth will catch up to it. Came out of there, got around Walker, and no whistle, and we play on.
Davis just got his jersey tugged and got pulled back, and there was no foul on that.
Harada, number 21, plays it ahead. Here's Janae. Off to Vickers. He lays it off now. Here's Clemens winding one up. A shot, and that whistled over the crossbar.
Ooh.
We got a player, Richmond player, Hugh Roberts. Looks like he's going to be okay. He's getting helped out by Shane Johnson.
Yeah, what happened there in the corners, Davis thought he got fouled. It looked like he did.
Yeah.
Dayton moved real quickly to start the counterattack. That's about as dangerous as they've looked so far in this second half. Did not miss by a whole lot.
Well, we had Vickers in the first half with one that just whistled over the crossbar. And here in the second half, Clemens, who just came in the second half for Dayton. There's Taylor.
It looks like Dayton's getting ready to make another sub here.
Ball headed forward. Deli heads it. And now it's controlled by Sweat. Deli is down.
They fell on his hip again. I think that he fell on in the first half.
And here's Sweat battling with Yeisley. And he'll play it out of play, but it's. And Deli that's not a good sign.
I think he's just taking a breather. He fell hard again. It's one of those where, it's, like I said, that's the second one. Does look like Matthew Hall is getting ready to come in here.
Nike, proud sponsor of USL Pro, and you can follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Again, that's at Nike Soccer on Twitter. Great supporter of soccer is Nike, and a great supporter of USL Pro Soccer as well. So Deli's still down. He's going to get a.
I think we're going to see Matthew Hall here in just a minute. He's got his jersey on, and Lee's filling out the card now, the substitution card. I also believe number 26, Christian Camacho, is coming in for Dayton.
Look at Hugh Roberts. Hugh getting a start tonight for Vercoloni.
Another solid effort from Roberts, getting more and more playing time, more and more confidence.
Yeah.
And we are going to have that substitution, and Camacho's going to come in for number 7, Matt Walker. So that's 26 for 7.
So Christian Camacho. 1-0, George Davis the fourth, his 10th goal of the season. The difference right now off a free kick. Oh, Walker's coming out.
That's what I said.
Oh.
I said number 4, Matt Walker.
I heard that.
You watching the same game as me, Mike?
Actually, yeah, I am.
Okay.
There's a look at Camacho. I don't know how I got that confused. I was thinking of someone else. I apologize, Mark. You did a wonderful job.
I can read.
Here's Paul played ahead for Janae. That's a good battle with Yambi, and it goes over the end line goal kick.
Veteran.
Walker had a good game.
Well, had a very good game. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're at the point now where you need to get some fresh legs on the field, and that's why I think Richmond, you're going to see probably a couple of subs from each team coming up in the next, I would say, 10 minutes or so.
There's Shane Johnson. There's George Davis, the fourth. He's fouled at midfield. The foul was on Bolin. And George Davis, the fourth, will just play it back to Shane Johnson. Off to Yambi.
This is good from Richmond. Just kind of knock it around. Make Dayton come out and chase you. Because Dayton's a team that's behind, so they're going to have to.
And the ball is controlled by Dayton momentarily. Now here's Vickers. Touching it off to Sweat. Back to Vickers. And here's Waite. Playing it forward.
Nice work there from Dayton.
Yep. Here's Sweat. He's got some options here. Puts it into the middle, but Yambi nudges that away. And, a nice try by Yeisley to try to keep that in play. And here comes the substitution, Matthew Hall.
Coming in for Delhi, number 7, Matthew Delicott. So that's a defensive move. So I have to take a look, and I'm guessing, it looks like Yeisley's going to move from the further deep spot, and he's going to take Matthew Delicott's place up top. Matthew Hall will come in. Again, he's played most recently, I believe, with Fort Lauderdale. Really good signing. Lee, we talked to Lee right before the game. Lee's really, really high on the kid. They just, like I said, they just signed him, I think, within the last 2 or 3 days. So,
see Delhi talking to Lee about that first half incident where he hit the back of the goal.
Yeah, I think he's got a bit of a knock. He might have to take a couple days to recover.
Camacho playing it forward.
Really good play
flick
there.
That time. Here's Bolin into the box. Cleared away by Shane Johnson. Here's Asante. Got some pressure from Camacho. No call. We play on. Here's Camacho. Getting around Asante. Here's Janae. He's got Clemens.
Clemens was looking for the ball. He didn't see him.
Ball's knocked away. Here's George Davis, the fourth. Trying to get the counter going for Richmond. Waited till the last minute. Plays the ball. And Williams is going to.
A little too much there.
Pounce on that.
Well, you can already tell they're looking for Hall to try to spring him outside on the as a right back, as a right midfielder there. I'm sorry. He started taking off. And that's going to be a tough matchup.
The ball played on the far side for Dayton. They're down 1-0 here in this second half after a scoreless first half. Ball played for Clemens. It scoots over the end line for a goal kick. And again, don't forget Richmond in action a week from tonight right here at City Stadium, their final regular season home game as they will host Orlando City. Ryan Taylor with the goal kick. Ball settled by Gorez. There's George Davis, the fourth. The only goal tonight was off his foot.
Dayton's done well since Richmond scored. They've done a good job of keeping possession and creating some chances.
Good crisp passing.
Yeah.
There's Tourrier. Now off to Bolin. Here's Camacho. Just entered the contest for Clemens, and he lost possession as Roberts got a foot in there. And Gorez will play it forward. Ball dropped off to Asante. Samuel Asante reverses field. And he'll play it back now.
He's so hard to dispossess there, Mike, because he keeps the ball so close. It's like a yo-yo.
Yeah, it really is.
You think he gets, he's got two guys closing down on him, and it's routine for him to split defenders and still maintain possession of the ball.
Here's what we're talking about, Mark, the possession by Richmond. Much better the last 4 or 5 games of possessing and running some time off the clock. Here's Alex Lee. Lee slides a beautiful pass through to Hall. Here's Hall. Gets to the end line. His cross attempt knocked away. It'll be kept alive by Spitz. Off to Lee. I'm not sure Hall knew he was that wide open. Lee's cross was knocked away by number 6.
He looked at the sideline official. He wanted to make sure he wasn't offside before he moved. If he had moved a second earlier, he would have been offside. Another good opportunity for Richmond here. Really could use a second goal. Start to put this thing away.
Yeisley, Johnson, some big targets in the middle. And the kick lofted in. Williams comes out. He punched at it and did get it. Here's Asante. And he'll just play it over to Sasha Gorez. That ball was hit a Dayton player. Now Camacho plays it ahead to Janae. Oh, good job by Gorez. Just stuck his foot in there and took it away.
Yeah. That's the whole thing what you're supposed to do when you're two defenders. One slows the person up, the other strips. And that's what Asante did. He slowed him up, and Gorez was able to come in and make the play.
Here's Spitz.
And
he's
Hall's there.
trying to spring Hall, and no! They say it went over the sideline. Matthew Hall with a smile on his face.
Substitution for the Dutch Lions, replacing number 10, will be number 45, Keith Dittel.
Keith Dittel, number 45, is coming in for number 10, Karamba Janae, who I thought had been very dangerous tonight.
Yep.
Just weren't able to get him that 1v1.
Yep.
Which is what they were looking for all night.
And a collision, Dittel colliding with Hall. Good job by Hall to muscle his way and maintain possession.
It's a great way to endear yourself to the crowd in your first 5 minutes on the field.
Here's Johnson. Richmond on top, 1-0. George Davis, the fourth, free kick opportunity. He didn't waste it. Put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, Hall is so new that he doesn't even have his name on his jersey. That's when you can tell you're fresh into the locker room.
So here is Dayton in possession. Well played here on the near side to Sweat. Here's Clemens. Clemens has been very active since he's entered the contest,
Yeah,
Mark.
absolutely.
And that'll be a throw in. Vickers. Off to Granger. Now here is Turrier. Bolin settles. Good touch that time by Bolin. Here's Harada. And Sweat. He's got some real estate to work with. Puts a strong cross in, but Shane Johnson had it marked all the way and heads it away.
Good play from Johnson there.
Yeah.
Very composed.
Here's Asante. He's trying to spring the long pass ahead and well defended, but it'll be a throw in for Richmond nonetheless, and Shea Spitz will take his time with this. You would think. Yep, he fumbled it away.
Whoops.
That's one of those veteran moves. Oh, I'm sorry, ref.
He'll never be a running back.
It slipped off my hands. And now he's going to change and let somebody. No, he's going to throw it in himself. I thought he was going to let Lee throw it in. Here's Alex. Off to Asante. Getting some pressure. Off to Johnson. Over to Gorez. Into the box. Flicked down. Ooh! Trying to beat the defender on the inside move, but.
Another one of those dangerous crosses from Gorez.
Yeah.
Spitz had gotten inside of his man, just outside of reach.
And here is Dayton with possession. Here's Turrier. He's looking for Vickers. That sailed over both the Richmond player and Vickers' head.
And that was a foul that was not called. Alex Lee threw an elbow into Vickers. It really did.
You're not going to find a more blatant foul than that one that was not called. That ball's skimmed past Harada, but he'll play it back to Williams. Yeisley.
Yeah, there's a difference between a shoulder charge and what Lee did. But, hey, if they don't call it.
There's been a couple on the Dayton side that also, It's ball played now by Dayton.
All right. Coming into the 78th minute, you got about 12 minutes and then some stoppage time, so it's crunch time for both teams.
Well, as we said earlier, Mark, Dayton certainly has not played like a team with just 6 wins on the season. They have really been a formidable opponent tonight for Richmond, and they're still in this thing. It's only a 1-goal game. And it's certainly not Matt Williams' fault, the goalkeeper, because that shot by Davis found the upper corner and was a laser that nobody could have got, I don't think. Oh, good ball through.
Really good ball.
And Turrier, a collision, and there's a foul on Hugh Roberts. Basically the same situation that Richmond had on their goal.
Absolutely.
About the same spot.
Absolutely, and that's a foul that a play that I've seen called as a foul and something I haven't. So, you had the one earlier from Alex Lee that wasn't called. This one was. So, Good opportunity here for Dayton. And let's see what Ryan Taylor does with his wall here.
Just outside.
This is another one of those things. It sounds simple to say, but when you have a keeper that's not as experienced, you know, a lot of it is setting that wall, getting the guys right, and this is something that Taylor's going to have to get right. Get those guys exactly where he wants them.
Harada's right now looks like the one that's going to take this, number 21. And he does, and it's in. Taylor never saw it. It was a low shot, unlike George Davis, the fourth goal. Shintaro Harada has tied it up for Dayton. In the 80th. Well, this changes everything, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Found just enough of the gap. And Taylor late to react, but I don't think he saw it, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think he did either.
Minute. By that time, he was in the back of the net. So here's Asante. Here's George Davis the fourth. Little stop and go.
Well, let's see what Richmond can do.
Yep.
Dayton's got life, and there's still plenty of time for somebody to get a game winner here.
Cross, but it's handled nicely by Waite, by Dayton, and he'll play it forward to Camacho. So Harada in the 80th minute has tied this up. Here's Jambi letting it roll through to Taylor. Quick restart, though, as he gets it out to Alex Lee. Lee's got some time and real estate to work with.
And Lee has called over to Shan Hanley. Looks like Hanley's going to be coming in. And one of the things we like about Hanley, he doesn't see a whole lot of playing time, but he always seems to have a knack for the goal. And that's what Richmond needs now. They got about 10 minutes left.
Kind of like here's a look at the goal, and it just skimmed past, as you see. Here it is again.
I kept missing it. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. I'm not sure if that might have hit a Richmond player on the way to the goal, but doesn't matter. It's a 1-1 tie now. But I was going to say about Hanley is his, much like Delhi, doesn't get a lot of shots on goal, but he makes them count.
Yeah.
So here's Dayton again. Ball played off to Vickers. Gets the return pass. Terrier plays it back to Waite. And a foul on Asante. And Asante was pretty demonstrative after the whistle.
Yeah, he's getting a verbal there. Just listen to the referee.
Yep, exactly.
You might disagree with him, but he has the power of the cards right now.
Hey, fans, don't forget every USL Pro regular season and playoff game will stream live on YouTube this season. Features include DVR, chat, and social media interactivity. Subscribe for free to the Richmond Kickers YouTube channel today.
Substitution coming on for the Kickers, replacing number 27, Shea Spitz.
Shea Spitz is coming out.
Yep.
Shan Hanley coming in.
Hanley.
Really, really good night from Spitz.
Yep.
Really, really good night.
Would like to have a couple of opportunities back, but
Now it says 1-0 on the scoreboard. But it is 1-1, folks. There it is.
here's
Thanks,
the ball.
guys.
Ooh, Lou Williams into the box, and he was able to track it down. Here's the ball played off to Sweat. Ball pushed ahead, but again, Richmond in possession. So a throw in for Alex Lee.
It does look like Lee Kalashaw's going for the win here, bringing in Hanley and
Was-
playing with two up top.
Yep.
Looks like he has moved to a 4-4-2.
Sorry, Mark, didn't mean to step on you there, but there was a foul against Granger.
Well, I appreciate that. Sometimes I need to be reined in a little bit.
Well, I think Lee realizes, in this case, and again, not to down Dayton, but you are playing a team that is really struggling this season with just 6 wins. You don't want to let 3 points get squandered.
Exactly right.
And Williams.
And again, as we've said, their last 4 games are against playoff teams or teams that could be in the playoffs. So you don't want to get out of a rhythm too much.
And the one thing you've always said, Mark, too, especially at home. I mean, not even if you want to win all of them, but especially your home games. And Richmond has been very good here at home with a 5-1-5 mark. I'm sorry, I'll take that back. They're 8-0, 8-0-4 here at home, 5-1-5 on the road. And hard to believe Dayton has not won a home game this season.
That's stunning to me.
There's a ball played, and Sweat can't catch up with it. It'll be a goal kick.
Did not think that was possible. But, hey.
They are 0-10-2 at home. No home field advantage there.
No. But they have looked really good tonight.
Yeah.
A very, really good effort from Dayton.
There's Gorez. Ball laid off, but taken away that time by Tourbeau.
Well, Richmond's gotten a little lazy with the passing the last few minutes. Kind of what was crisp earlier isn't there right now.
Might be a little tiredness. I mean, you mentioned, Mark, it's kind of humid tonight.
Could be.
It's.
But usually that would affect the road team more than the home team. And they've got open look here again with Dayton.
Here's Sweat getting inside the box. Nice job by Lee, though. But it goes right to Tourbeau. He tried to hook up with Camacho, but Sasha Gorez nullified that. Here's Geisley. And now Asante. Samuel Asante's got George Davis the fourth to his left. And a ball pushed in. Davis the fourth is going to catch up with a quick ball into the middle. Sliding play by Waite. Geisley was right there, but a fine play that time by Matt Waite. Matthew Waite.
Really good counterattack from Richmond there. Asante, I thought he might have held the ball a little bit too long, but he was able to get the ball into Davis. Davis with a nice early ball and just missed Geisley there.
Let's see if the Kickers can take advantage with this corner kick opportunity. They bring Johnson and Yambi up from the back. George Davis the fourth. With the corner. Johnson, it sailed over his head. And it will go over the end line for a goal kick. That just missed. That's given the top of the head, I believe, of Shane Johnson.
Yep.
Coming up, the 87th, 86th minute here. And
correct.
Winding it down. Again, if the results stand, we believe Orlando City's still on top of Harrisburg. Last time we checked, it was a 2-1 lead for the home team.
I believe so. Let me check again, Mike.
And if Orlando City wins, then they would pick up 3 points. And if this stays as it is, a 1-1 draw, then it would be just a point for Richmond. So Orlando City would extend their first place advantage. Here's Yambi playing it back to Taylor. Ryan Taylor getting some pressure. Gets it off to Yambi. Good high pressure from Dayton. But Yambi.
Easy for you to say, Mike.
Yeah, calmly got away from that, as he's been doing most of his career. Here's Hugh Roberts. He lost possession to Vickers. Here's Clemens. Ball played back to midfield to Hirata, the goal scorer for Dayton. That ball's headed, and trying to settle it was number 45, Detel. Against Detel is Lee. And looks like he's going to be okay. Alex has been dealing with some minor nicks and injuries to that this year. I think one of them was a hamstring injury,
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, he's had a little problem with his hamstring over the last couple of years.
Yep. There's Taylor playing it ahead to Lee.
Got about 2.5 minutes left of regulation plus some stoppage time.
Here's Lee. Gets around Vickers. Still in possession. And offside.
Hanley was offside there.
Yep. A little too anxious that time.
Yeah, Hanley gets excited there. Again, I'm used to seeing him play with his PDL and his NPSL record there.
So here's Gorez.
But he is dangerous, boy. I tell you, like I said, he always seems to be around the goal.
Was Davis the fourth, and he couldn't hook up with, was that Hanley on the side, far side? Yeah. Some frustration setting in for Hanley. So a throw in for Dayton. And that ball is played near midfield.
Dayton's not going away. They want to try and get the 3 points here.
Here's Vickers. A little step over. Now plays it. And ball knocked away by Roberts. And Granger Tried to get the possession back for Dayton and did. Here's a shot, and that sailed over the crossbar. Turrier took that shot. Well, Mark, in the last 3 games that Dayton has had, they've had a loss, a draw, and a win. So picking up a little momentum here as this regular season winds down. There's Gorez. And that was a giveaway.
Just like I said, just not as crisp as they were the first 60 minutes or so of the game.
Yeah. Here's Williams playing it wide. Here's Harada. Both goals tonight from each team off of free kicks, about the same spot.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just
exactly
outside
right.
the 18 box. There's Sweat laying it off. Clemens with a return pass for Vickers. And,
nice from Lee.
Yep, and then his pass ahead was knocked away by, I believe, Granger. Here's Dettell. And Lee couldn't keep it in play.
And dangerous play here for Dayton.
Frustration for the Kickers.
3 minutes of stoppage time.
3 minutes of stoppage time is being added on.
Here's a look. You can see the fourth official letting you know. 3 minutes. Kickers need to get one in the back of the net, pull out a 3 points here at home. Vickers lining up the corner kick for Dayton. It's the corner kick, and it's headed away. And Yeisley.
And Richmond's got numbers. They've got a 3v2, but they've got to move quickly. Here comes Hanley on the outside.
Gorez directing traffic. Sasha Gorez lays it off for Hanley.
This is the opportunity they've been looking for.
And Hanley puts a shot in the upper deck.
That is not what they were looking for.
And now Dayton with a quick counter.
Here comes Dayton while Richmond's got their heads down a little bit.
Here's Vickers. Off to Camacho. Gets a return pass from Dettell. Good ball.
Good ball.
But Gorez was there. He's battling Turrier. And Sasha knocks it out of, well, it's going to be held into play by Bolin.
What a great stuff from Sasha, though. He's leading the counterattack, and then he comes right back, 90th minute.
Here's Clemens. He ran into a wall. No call. The follow-up shot. And that sailed over the goal.
Wow, what an opportunity for Richmond there. Holy cow.
Make some noise out there, fans. Come on.
And a good job by the center referee for not calling that play because the advantage was to Richmond.
Absolutely.
The collision. I think he was getting ready to. And here's Hanley. Hanley and Hall. Up ahead to Hall. And his...
Still alive. Here comes Davis.
Yep. Here's George Davis, the fourth. He'll track it down for the Kickers. Late here in stoppage time. Here's Gorez. Back for George Davis, the fourth. And George Davis, the fourth. Williams. Here's Hall with the follow-up. Into the middle. Nobody there.
Thought Hall was going to have a crack at goal there. He decided to center it. And here comes Dayton again.
Yep. Here's Clemens. Clemens a little step over. And Shane Johnson with him step for step. Gets a shot just wide.
This has been an insane 3 minutes, hasn't it, Mike? I think we might have one more opportunity here for one of these teams.
Wow.
Boy, this is exciting.
That was on the near post for Clemens.
Can we go about another 10, 15 minutes? Somebody's going to score.
There's a whistle and a foul.
Down against the Dutch Lions.
I'll tell you, Clemens has been very dangerous since entering this second half.
I think this is going to be it for this game. Last opportunity.
Wow.
Go ahead, if you're Richmond, go ahead and send everybody up.
There's Gorez. He'll take this free kick. What a save moments ago by Matt Williams.
Really was.
There's Gorez into the box. And Williams handles that on the fly.
And that's the ball game.
There is your final whistle.
So it's a 1-1 draw. Yes, it is a point, but it's a disappointing point, I would think, for Lee Collishaw and the Richmond Kickers. George Davis, the fourth, scoring on a free kick opportunity here early in the second half, and then Harada answering on a free kick for Dayton. Again, 1-1 is the final, as Richmond squandered an opportunity to pick up 3 points. We're going to step aside. We'll come back, wrap things up here at City Stadium Again, the final score, Richmond 1, Dayton 1. Stay with us as we wrap things up from City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. You're watching Richmond Kickers Soccer on YouTube. And welcome back, City Stadium here in Richmond, Virginia. The USL Pro matchup between Richmond and Dayton, and it's a 1-1 draw, so the unbeaten streak runs to 21, Mark. But we were talking, it's not a good feeling on the home side. This is a Dayton team, as we mentioned, came in with just 6 wins and played well. Not taking anything away from Dayton, but you hate to squander an opportunity to pick up 3 vital points.
Well, we mentioned coming into this game, Mike, that we thought it might be a trap game. Dayton played a lot better than what their record would indicate. They played well. Richmond had some opportunities, and it does. Anytime you can get a point out of a game is good, but they really needed 3 to really solidify second place. And they've got 4 really tough games to close the season: 2 against Orlando, 1 against Orange County, and 1 against LA Galaxy 2. So what seemed to be very comfortable, at least second place now, might be a little shaky now with Sacramento and LA Galaxy coming up.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, 1-1 is the final. It was scoreless at the half, and then George Davis IV collected his 10th goal of the season off a free kick opportunity just outside the 18, and, it was a laser. The goalie, Matt Williams, had no chance for Dayton. And then in the 80th minute, almost the identical same spot that the foul was called against Dayton that led to the Richmond goal. The foul was called against against Richmond, and that led to Harada's goal. Here's a look at the Davis goal, and I'll tell you, that's, again, no chance for the goalkeeper. That was in the 51st minute. Here it is again, and just a great placement of this shot, Mark.
Yeah, right around the wall. The keeper had no chance.
And like you said, that's a difficult area to try to get that ball in the goal.
Totally, absolutely.
And George Davis IV celebrating. And then here's the one that tied it up. And, again, that ball just escapes the outstretched arms of goalkeeper Ryan Taylor.
It looked like Ryan reacted just a little bit late to it. That was a really, really strong shot there.
And, again, not sure if it deflected, but there wasn't much of a space between. And Ryan might have been screened on that one. That tied things up again. That was in the 80th minute to make it a 1-1 tie, and that's how it ended. And late in the game, though, I'll tell you, Matt Williams made a terrific stop on George Davis IV. He had an opportunity on the far side inside the box and cranked one up. Williams made a save, and then Matthew Hall looked like he had an opportunity to settle that ball, maybe get a follow-up shot. Instead, it crossed into the middle of the box, and then it led to a squandered opportunity for Richmond in that case. But again,
it was a tough angle, and we do have George Davis IV is making his way up here. He'll be joining us in just a moment or two.
And like we said, again, not taking anything away from Dayton, because like I say, they came in, but they've been playing well here under new coach Matt Weston. And again, a nice job by Dayton to make this a heck of a game. And unfortunately, Richmond could not get the 3 points. But again, we've said in the now 4 games, they've had 2 draws, a win and a loss for Dayton. So putting together a little bit here at the end of the season.
As we said, Mike, we're driving down here. We said, these guys are auditioning for jobs for next year because you are going to have changes, obviously. But these guys want to play there. Dayton's a really good organization, solid ownership there. They're in this for the long haul. And, like I said, they're going to make some changes, but these guys really want to stick around and show, even if they don't stay with Dayton, that they're worth playing in USL Pro and hopefully latch on with another team because, we talked a couple times, USL Pro is expanding again by a couple teams next year. So, these guys are, anytime they can get something on television, you get guys like us calling it.
Right.
Hey, how can they go wrong?
And, of course, we certainly saw some talent on that Dayton side,
we
too.
Absolutely did.
Walker played well in the early going, and some other Janae, who, of course, just joined the team, played well. And, of course, Harada got the tying goal. But they had several players that played extremely well in this contest for Dayton. And, again, if they're auditioning for other teams, there's some players that some other teams might want to take a good, solid look at.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, there's a good little stretch here for Dayton to close the season out. And I believe we do have Mr. Davis joining us. He's going to put the headphones on here and talk to us for a minute or two.
George Davis IV with his 10th goal of the season off that free kick. George, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. And, of course, got that goal, that free kick opportunity. That's not an easy area to take that free kick because there's not a lot of room, but you certainly didn't miss it. We were looking at the replay. We'll probably get it queued up here again for you. What a shot.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you know, do you pick out a spot? Here you go. Now, are you picking out a spot that you're gonna hit it at?
What did you see?
Well, it was a little close to get it up and down for my liking. I mean, guys like Pirlo can do that, but not myself. So I just tried to hit it with pace and make good contact and put it on frame. And the worst that could happen is a rebound or, deflection for a corner.
Over the years we see Sasha Garris take that play a lot of times. Did you say, listen, let me get this one? Because a lot of times the guy who gets fouled, and you got fouled on the play, a lot of times the guy who gets fouled shouldn't necessarily take the free kick, but you stepped up and took care of it. Did you say, I want this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we work on these in training all the time. We both know where we're good from, and I was confident. I did have to take a second after I was fouled to gather myself, and I was able to step up and put it in the net.
Talk a little bit about the game itself. There's a team, Dayton, that's in second to last place, I believe, and you guys are in second place. Has to be a little bit disappointing that you only get 1 point instead of the 3 tonight.
Absolutely, especially at home. I mean, every game we go into, we want to take 3 points. Our goal is to win a championship, and in order to do that, and with Orlando at the top of the table, we need 3 points.
Right.
However, with that being said, I thought Dayton, they're a pretty good team. They play with a lot of spirit. They're confident in moving the ball. They play out of the back, and they gave us a good game. So much credit to them.
George, a lot of folks, the average fan might say, well, boy, here they were looking past this game for, of course, the big one next week with Orlando. Didn't look like the case, though. You guys had a pretty good – you played well, I thought, for probably 3/4 of this game. In the first half, I thought you did a nice job of knocking around, getting some opportunities, just couldn't finish. And then, of course, you get the goal to put Richmond up. But unfortunately, almost the same identical area where you scored, the foul was called, and, of course, Harada made you pay. But I didn't think you guys had any – you weren't looking past Dayton to the next week.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good spirit in the club. We know – that we can't look ahead. And if we want to win, then we have to go out and concentrate on the game at hand. And that's important, from here on out.
Right.
We can't look forward because the games right now are just as important as the next.
Talk a little bit about the team itself. When you come in, especially with USL Pro, there tends to be a decent amount of turnover every year with players. When you guys came in, honestly, we had not really seen much from you here in Richmond, honestly, and then Samuel Asante and a couple of new guys. It seems like you guys have really gelled throughout the course of the year. You just got your 10th goal tonight. Deli seems to defy father time. He's got 14. So talk a little bit about the chemistry in there. And did you miss Luke Vercoloni out there tonight?
Luke is a very good player, and he brings a lot of heart and energy. And, maybe we were, but with that being said, I think the guys who were on the field tonight did an excellent job. Like you said, we were a little unlucky in finishing. I hit the post. Deli had his chances, Jaisley. But overall, I think Coach has done a very good job of bringing the right players to fit into the system that he wants to play. And guys like Asante and guys like myself and Spitz and Deli, the old timer,
he loves it when we say that too.
he's put the pieces to the puzzle together, and then the attitude of the players coming in. I mean, you have to be willing to accept your role. You have to be willing to work with others and jump into a new scenario and give what you're good at.
Yeah, right. It does look like you guys really are able to communicate pretty well on the field. A lot of layoffs and stuff like that. You just kind of sense where the guys are going, and that takes a while to learn. But you guys seem to get that kind of early in the season.
Yeah. I mean, with the results we've had, we've had our ups and downs. It hasn't always been the smoothest, but in training we come to work every day and Coach puts us in situations and scenarios to get to know each other, and I think that's very important when it comes to the game.
Well, congratulations. You had a little slump there, but now you scored 2 straight games. Looks like you're getting on the right foot as far as getting back into the scoring column. I always love when people talk about Deli. Every guy we've had up here smiles because we always call him the old timer, the veteran. But what a year he is having. Do you rub his head a little bit, try to get some of that goal scoring luck?
Absolutely, man. Deli is a legend. I respect Deli a lot, and I learned from him as well.
Well, Deli, George, we thank you for coming up here. Really appreciate it, and especially after the game. I know we always like to see, because we said we want to see George up here tonight, and you're down on the field, and now you got to come up like 5 or 6 flights of steps, man. So we appreciate it. You've been going for 95 minutes. We appreciate you guys coming up here every week.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me.
Hey, good luck next week against Orlando, buddy.
Thank you very much. Have a good
All
one.
right.
Thanks, man.
George Davis IV, he got the goal, the only goal of the night, his 10th of the season, as he joins Deli in double figures on the goal-scoring column. 1-1 tie. That's the final. Hey, my thanks to the Tourbeau Sports Group. Another great job by our director, Mike, and all of our camera guys. My thanks to Mr. Bushman. Once again, another great job by Mark. And, of course, we thank you for watching Richmond Kickers Soccer. So long, everybody. Once again, the final 1-1.